Hey, good evening, folks, and welcome to the show tonight. And as you can see, I got Mike here with me as a special guest, and Mike's really not a guest; he's a all-time fixture. And we're missing our special guest tonight.
Sure.
He was going to be here with us. Bill was he and Polly were going to come down, but they got back from the beauty shop and haircutting and everything, and he called me there a little bit ago and said, son, he didn't know about this weather. I said, listen, Bill, I said, we'd rather know you was safe at home than missing you down there at the show.
That's right.
And we'd love to have you, but it ain't worth the risk. And so they're listening at home, and we'll say hello to them. Say hello to Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, for sure. And I know you've been by there aggravating him today. So anyway, want to do that. And then got listen to this. Now, last week, Gay come home and stopped at Food City in Oak Ridge. Was getting some groceries to take up to her mom and dad's, up to Bill and Polly. And anyway, this feller was that was helping her bag up her groceries and stuff. His name is Dallas, and that's all I know. Anyway, he want to say hello to Dallas. He works at Food City, and he was just tickled to death. Something about I was tying up those plastic bags. Gay told him, said, hey, so let me tie them bags up. Said we like to reuse them for a lot of things, you know. And so she tied that knot in the top of that bag, and he said, hey, he said, that looks like a fisherman's knot. She said, it is. And he went to telling her about him watching the show and this, that, and the other. And she said, well, you know that older gentleman that is on there sometimes with Steve and Mike? And he said, yeah. I said, that's my dad. So he just said, man, I'm glad I finally met somebody from the Let's Go Fishing show. So we're glad, Dallas, that you finally met someone, and we're glad you're a viewer, and keep watching and call in over here and find out how Mike's doing on the crappie fishing and that kind of thing. I'll say this, folks. After all this, I'm still fighting this bug. Mike, I mean, tell you, my voice just doesn't sound right on the camera and all that kind of stuff. So I'm still fighting and trying to get. I am a little bit better than I was.
Yeah.
But I don't want to overdo it and that kind of thing. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. I've been taking the medicine, but it's helping a little, but it ain't cured it.
Double dose it.
Yeah, yeah. I done that the first go round, and I tell you what, Mike, I was taking. Sure, he said they were daytime pills and nighttime pills together.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know which way my hat was turning. I said, man, I got bad there for a little bit, and I said, come home. She said, you taking these pills? I said, yeah, I took them both. Well, you're not supposed to. Anyway, you know. So can't do that, folks. Don't mix your medication. You're over medicated. But anyway, I know a lot of people's got some kind of sickness right now. Like I said, my wife, she's had bronchitis and still fighting that, and I'm fighting whatever's going around, and the yard needs mowing. And
oh, yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do.
It's all went crazy here in the last couple of days.
Sure have. Anyway, man, I dread getting out there and mowing that yard bad as my nose has been running and stuff already, but I guess we'll have to do it. Wrap a rag around my face and go on, I guess. I've got a little bit of bass fishing film, and we're going to show that. I've got a couple of new commercials. Got the new sponsor up tonight. That's Tennessee Tent and Detailing, and you'll see a lot more to that. And got some new pictures and whatnot of shared treasures thrifts and antiques there in Oliver Springs, and we're just trying to get things, organized with our sponsors and get a little commercial clip and keep them in your mind for when you need something for your tires for your vehicles and boats and trolling motors and stuff and money at the bank and this on and so forth, and you need your vehicle cleaned. These guys down here at Tennessee Tent and Detailing, man, they just all over it. I stopped there. You'll see in the commercial. I mean, it was like I couldn't even talk to them. It was like a swarm of bees. Mm-hmm. And it was just three of them on this one vehicle. One was doing this, one doing that, and another was doing something else.
Yes.
And I said, man, alive. So anyway, you'll see that as we go along. But we're going to start out. Mike's got some crappie film, but I'm going to show all that stuff on my camera because it's getting full and I need to delete a bunch of it off and that kind of thing. So anyway, we're going to start out with that. Got several things going on tonight, and I'll mention them. They're having a meeting in Kingston about the Grass and Watts Bar. Mm-hmm. It's going on right now. I told Bud and Willie to call me once they got out of that meeting and they could communicate to us what all was brought up and this, that, and the other. Those people down there that's having the problem with the vegetation around their dock, they're not going to rest till it's gone. And we don't. Talking with the fishermen now, and we feel like that. Hey, we understand that. What we want to do is make sure we regulate it to where we're not going to kill the whole cove versus what's around your dock. It's like I said, you drop it in the water, it goes everywhere. So we just don't want them to overspray, and Mike, and that kind of thing. So anyway, we'll see how that goes and all that. And hopefully they'll call back here directly and we get it. Dylan, you ready to go to the film? All right, buddy, take us on. Hey, folks, I'm here at Tim's Tires, and I want, just looking. There's all kinds of tires behind me, but this right here is kind of more for the vehicles. So, as you can see, they've got every size shape that you're looking for. And don't get caught with bad weather. Come on by down here at Tim's Tires and let them make you a deal on a set of tires there. Because they do have them. If they don't have, they will get them. For you, and you truckers know that they've got the truck tires too. So Tim's Tires right here coming into Harriman. Make sure you check them out there if you need that set of tires. Hey folks, we're here at Corner Lot Trading and Rockwood Iron and Metals, all on the same place here. So we're going to take a little peek at what Gary's got in here that you'd be interested in. Okay, folks, there's some of the landscaping stone that he's got, and over behind that we got a pile of masonry sand and some looks like driveway stone in that pile, and see the cross ties over behind that, and there's some of the vehicles he's bought. So we're looking at all that. There's the ties and vehicles and that kind of thing. Then over there you see the pile of black mulch. So got that here on site already, and I saw a pile of topsoil over there also. So remember, that's the kind of stuff he's got here, and as soon as he gets his scales in and gets them set up, why, he'll be taking scrap, and he is taking some scrap already. As you can see, that bin right there is full of some small scrap and that kind of thing, and so remember, that's Rockwood Ornamentals and Corner Lot Trading down here on the south end of Rockwood, and appreciate y'all, giving Gary your business, and I'm sure he'd appreciate it. So remember that. Thank you, folks. Hey folks, I'm here at East Tennessee Tent and Detailing down here in Harriman, and as you can see, the workers are wrapped up, tied up, wiping and cleaning and all that kind of stuff. So you already saw the front of the building and the sign, and we're going to go inside here and talk to a couple of customers and see what they think about the service. Okay folks, I'm inside and I've run into Miss Sexton here from out in Morgan County. Miss Sexton, what do you think about the East Tennessee Tent and Detailing Shop?
Well, this is my first time here, and so far I'm really pleased with the way they're cleaning my van. And can actually see the color of it now. So.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, would you recommend this place to your friends?
Absolutely.
All right, that sounds good. Well, thank you a lot for letting us know what you think of the business, and hope to see you again, and appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, folks, it's Saturday, late Saturday morning. Got a late start, trying to fight this flu or whatever it is I've got. And they're having a tournament out of Ladd's Landing, so I came up in the Emery section, and I'm gonna try to flip a fish or two. Water temperature's right. See if we can get on the fish. So stay tuned. Remember our sponsors, and let's go fishing. All right, folks, there's my first fish in the boat. I've had two on, both of them got off. I got that one in. We're gonna get him back in the water. See if he can make a keeper. And see if we can get another. All right, there you go, bud. All right, folks, there's my second fish in the boat, and I just missed a good one right back behind me there. We get him back in the water, try to get another. Another small fish. Seems like there's several right in this area where I'm at. Get him back in the water and try to get another bite. Folks, I'm in the midst of these small fish right here. Maybe there'll be a big one or two. I've caught 3 right here, back-to-back cast. We'll get this one off and see if we can get another. And there's another one, 4 casts, 4 fish. All right, we'll get back in the water and see if we can get a big one. I know there's some here because they're breaking in the minnow. All right, back in the water, we'll get him. Yeah, a little better fish right there, folks. Yeah, he's got that bait swallowed. I mean, he ate it. All right, we'll get him off and get another. All right, there's another one, folks. Next cast. We'll see if we can find some bigger ones. Well, folks, I was throwing a rattle trap out there and decided I'd catch one on the jig, so I throw the jig out there and the dang one didn't hit it. All right, we'll get him back in the water and get another. All right, folks, there's another small bass. It just, they're stacked up right here. You can see them breaking water, feeding on the minnows, and we'll see if we can get a bigger one. And there's another jig fish. Got him on the jig. All right, we get him off. We get another. There's a good keeper bass right there, folks. Come out of a treetop, about 3 foot of water. We get him back in there and get another. All right, folks, there's another good keeper fish right there. On the rattle trap again. Back in the water, buddy. Get up.
Hey folks, shared treasures, consignments, and more. Check some of these pictures out and or this video, and you'll see a lot of the items that they've got to offer, and man, they've got some great stuff. Remember, that's shared treasures, thrifts, consignments, and more. They're on Tri-County Boulevard there across from Ace Hardware.
All right, folks, we're back. Got to see some pictures there of some items that shared treasures. Got to see some fish that I caught. Also, Tennessee tinting and detailing. The interview with one of their customers there, Miss Sexton. You know, and we'll talk a little bit more about the sponsors here in a little bit, and then got Tim's Tires there and stuff. So we'll move on to the fishing part of it, and so we can get Mike's crappie film up. You know, I was on Watch Bar. Like I said, they had the parking lot was full at Ladd Landing, and you know, so I opted to go up to Big Emery and then went on into Little Emery, hoping everybody else went down the river. And they was a very few boats. There were several crappie fishermen in there, Mike, and that kind of thing. So, but I caught a bunch of fish. I just got about half of them on the camera, but they were. I had some 3 or 4 keeper fish, and then missed a couple of good fish. But you know, caught several fish on the rattle trap, and flipping and pitching a jig. I mean, I was hitting the bank with it and dragging it in, because you know, when you're sitting in 3.5 foot of water, like the 4 foot, you know, it's just right there. So, and the best fish I had a hold of, I guess, was, I mean, I hit the bank with that thing, buddy, and pulled it in the water, and he had it. He was sitting out there watching for it, and that's what we think happens in muddy water conditions. If you know, if you're flipping in muddy water or pitching, you know, after a rain and the creek muddies up, there's always a little section again the bank, Mike, that's not muddy.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to put your bait.
It starts clearing there first.
Yeah, right off the bank there, about a foot out. It'll be a little clear, just a little bit clearer there than it will there where your boat's at in muddy water, and that's where you want to put your bait.
Of course, the shallower it is, the more light penetration.
That's right. So that's why we like to do the flipping and pitching thing. The water temperature was in the upper 50s to low 60. Now, out on the main channel in Emery and in the Clinch, the water temperature was a little cooler. So back in the back, and they were some carp mudding, and a few shoal, you know, coming out of the water, how they do, and when they're getting in there to spawn, and so things are getting right. You know, it's they're going to be, you know, it's going to get right here pretty quick, and there's some fish making their way to the spawning beds right now.
Yeah.
They sure are. Is that one I caught a couple of weeks ago, where I guess it wasn't last week, week before last, with Wesley and Colt down there. She was hunting. She was headed in the ditch to go, you know, just waiting on the water temperature to warm up, and that fish was headed to shallow water to spawn. And sure was. There's no doubt about it. Now, I was in 4.5 foot of water, and she wasn't 3 feet.
Right now, I hate that, because you know, the lake's down, and this shore of the world, they get in our nest, and then all of a sudden the lake's full, and
yeah, I agree.
It messes up the dang spawn. That's for sure.
I agree with you, Mike, and I hate for them to jack it up and they go in there to spawn, then they drop it back down.
Drop it back down, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's it's a bad situation. But anyway, you know, a rattle trap is a good bait right now this time of year, and it has been for a month off and on. You know, and you know, I'll tell you, if it's cloudy, overcast, I've told you before, I like to go with a painted, and you saw that sexy shad rattle trap I was throwing. Now, if it's bright, clear, sunny day, I like to throw the chrome and black, chrome and blue, even a gold and black. So, you know, it's just that light reflection.
Yeah, it is.
Is what it is. But in murky water, I like to throw a painted, you know, lipless crankbait. And because I've got cotton cordell spots, I've got the Bill Lewis's, I've got the red-eyed shad, strike kings, red-eyed shad, and 2 or 3 other different makes of them. But like I said, muddy water, dingy water, I like to throw a painted color, and even the chartreuse and that kind of thing, and then in the clear water, stick if the sunny days, stick with the chromes. Got a lot of flash, and then if it's cloudy, stick with the painted colors. So that's my preference, and it wouldn't be that way if I hadn't caught a lot of fish on it. Now, whether I could have thrown a chrome on a cloudy day and caught them, I don't know. I never did try, because I always knew they'd bite the painted job. You know, and somebody may have done better than I did throwing a chrome and blue. I don't know. But anyway, and then like I said about the flipping, you see in that film there, I caught some fish on a jig, and it was just a little old quarter 3/8 jig, a brown with a black chunk on it, because the water was colored, and had some good, it was just good color for flipping, and you know, nothing special. I mean, if there was rocks there, that was fine. If there was mud there, that was fine. If there was brush there, that was fine, because the fish were just cruising the bank, and you know, that mud trail off the bank a lot of times. And you know, fish, they hear everything that goes on. You throw that bait in there on the bank, and it thumps and drag it in the water. They think, uh-oh, you know, and they're just laying out there looking. You know, when you drag it out there in front of him, he got it. So, but and then around the structure. So you know, I just went down the bank, and if it was mud or a rock or whatever I come up on, I just kept right on fishing.
Well, yeah.
You know, it didn't make any difference. Caught them in all 3 places. But anyway, that was kind of the deal there. And with the baits that I was using, wasn't much to it really. Just kind of standard issue for us. And you know, you might have caught them on a black and blue jig or whatever may have, but that's just an old standby. We go black with a brown chunk or trailer, or brown with a black trailer in that dingy water. And in muddy water, pretty much the same way. Black, you know, the black seems to show up real good in the muddy water, same way as yellow. So anyway, that's about the deal on that. Mike, we're going to go to your crappie film. What about it, Dylan? All right, ready to go? Let's see how Mike done the crappie fishing.
Okay, folks, I'm down here in Blue Springs again. It's Wednesday, beautiful day. Already warming up. The water's 61 degrees on the surface anyway. These warm days bringing it on. We'll see if them crappies move that much. I had a lot of reports out of people catching some walking the banks, some of them catching them in shallow, see what's going on with them. So hang with us and remember the sponsors. And let's go fishing. All right, folks, there's my second crappie. 41 foot. What can you say? We'll stay after them, see if we can find something a little better. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's another one. Might have found a little something there. Ain't the great big ones, but they dandies. See what we can do. Hopefully we can catch a few more out there. All right. I think I got another one here. Oh yeah. Another nice one. Okay. Keep after them right there. That's a good little old spot. All right. Can't beat that. It'll be some good eating. I'll have to clean them up for Bill and Polly there. Polly's been wanting a good mess of crappie anyway. Just stay after them. See what's going on here. That's structure down there. Running somewhere around 40 to 45 foot, so we'll just beat around on it and see if we can get a few more. Yeah, buddy. Striper. Oh well, I finally found another crappie in here. About 28 foot, so maybe they'll start biting here. We'll figure out something anyway. I think I got another nice one here. Oh yeah. Another nice keeper. All right. Okay. Keep on, I'm gonna get Polly a good mess crappie. Okay, folks, there's another keeper. Oh, makes 8. Okay, folks, that makes 10. That'll be a plenty. We want to get their bass stuff out here and throw a little bit for these largemouth. See what's going on.
Okay, Mike. Well, I tell you what, something happened on that trip, didn't it?
No.
Huh?
No.
Well, we didn't get much film out of that.
No. I started out there yesterday and stopped down there to get some minnows and talked to fellas come in there at the store get some minnows too. And I said, "You been doing any good?" He said, "No." Said, "I don't know what's going on with them crappie." He said, "I ain't caught hardly any." And I said, "Well," I said, "I've been catching a few." I said, "Most have been out deep." And he said, "Well, I ain't been trying it out deep." He said, been fishing shallow. And I said, "Well, I heard there's a few of them catching some shallow, but, you might ought to try it out there deep." I said, last week there, me and my buddy, I said, we had probably over 30 crappie, brought home 22. And, but they's all around 30 foot or so. And he said, "Well, I may try that." So I went on down to Blue Springs, and when I got there, I could not believe it. That parking lot, they must have been 30 vehicles there. They wasn't even nowhere for me to park.
Shucks.
I had to get out and drag a guy's little old trailer over out of the way to get squeezed in between him and another one and back it plumb back up there in the weeds next to the road.
Well,
Over there. I ain't seen that many vehicles in that parking lot down there in 30 years.
yeah.
I tell you, I never seen. And got in the water and there was boats everywhere. I mean, they was all trolling, fishing on treetops and everywhere. And I started out there and checking a few spots out, thinking them fish may moved on in there. and I fished 4 or 5 different spots on the way out of the creek, and didn't see nobody catch anything. I didn't catch anything, and so I said, well, I'm just going to go out there and see what's going on. So I went out there in the channel and got down there and pulled up on some places, and the first one I got a hold of hung me up. I lost him. Finally got my rig undone and dropped back down that tree and got a hold of another. And he come off before I got him to the boat. And the third time I went back in that same tree, I caught one. And of course he was on the film there. And they was fishing 42 to 45 feet out there. And I caught 4 or 5, I can't remember what it was now, out of that same tree right there. And I said, well, I'm going to go on down before it gets too late and try these other places. So I went down toward Uchi and pulled in there, fished several spots in there, couldn't find a fish nowhere. I was back fishing 30 foot again. And I finally got on back in the creek there and pulled in on one side. And I don't know whether it was the time of day or what, but all of a sudden I caught 2 or 3 fish out of one little old section right there along that creek channel. And they was 31 foot. And so I come back around and tried another tree and got on top of it, caught a couple of little ones, and then I went to drop back in the water, and as it was sinking down, one about jerked my dang arm off. He hit it on the way down.
Yeah.
So he was a good keeper. So I put him in the box, turned around there, pulled back on top of that tree, and I looked at there, and I said, all them crappie was up next to the top of it. He wasn't down in the bottom.
Yeah.
The tree was standing there probably 10 foot off the bottom.
Yeah.
And I could ease up, and hold it there for just about 15, 20 seconds and ease up another crank. You know, you get about 2 foot to the crank.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, wham, there's another.
Let me keep that thought. Let me see who this is. Hello. Yeah, bud. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Can I call you back here in, say, about 30, 40 minutes? That's all right, man. See you later. All right, buddy. Bye. All righty.
But, yeah, when I caught that one, it hit it on the way down and then caught one picking it up like that. I went back to the first brush pile that I started out in, and I don't know whether it was just because it was later in the day or whether they was up suspended, but I caught them others right on the bottom at 31 feet.
Yeah.
And then I caught them there suspended about 20 foot deep on top of the brush. They wasn't down in it, they was up on top of it. So, you know,
Well,
but
yeah.
anyway, I brought home 10 crappie there. Like I stole on tape. I wanted to get Bill and Polly a mess of crappie there, so I get the hide knocked off of them and get them up there to them, because Polly needs a good mess of crappie.
Yeah, they're counting on it. That's exactly right. Yeah. Well, and Mike, that, you know, basically what it was, them fish was up over top of the structure.
Yeah.
And
They're sitting in the top of it looking up for a minute.
yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. That was all right, but you were still sitting out there in 40 foot of water.
No, it's over 30 foot.
Over 30 foot of water.
Yeah,
Okay.
30, 32 foot, yeah.
Huh. Well, well, it's just right now. You might catch one in a foot of water, and it might be 40
But
foot
now
catching that.
the great big ones that we've been catching, the 14, 15 inches, didn't catch none of them. I don't know where they're at, but I ain't been able to get hold of any of them
Yeah.
at all.
Well, let's see who that. Maybe this call right here will tell us what's going on. Let's see it. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Tony. Let me get your picture up while you're talking. Dylan, can you put that picture up of Tony's there?
I got 2 different ones of them.
2 different ones of them. I sent it to you there this afternoon, Dylan.
Well,
While he's working on it, let's hear about I know you had 11 in one picture.
we had 21 last Saturday down there at the Keepers. We had 11 Sunday. We went there for about 3 hours.
Yeah, okay. Shoot, What was the 21? What was you doing on that? That was on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we caught probably 30. We had 21 keepers. We started out at the steam plant up there, fishing about 12 foot at some trees there.
Right.
We was catching them about 6 foot deep. We caught 6. I mean, about as fast as you could drop it in. Those were all real good ones. And they just quit. So then we went out to the main channel and started fishing on the 25, 30 foot deep out there. And there was about 5 more there real quick. They were real good. We had first 9 or 10, we caught about 14 inches.
Yeah.
But those, she sent you the pictures on Monday. There was 21 of them in it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I got one picture today, or at least it come up on my phone today.
That only had 11 in it there.
Yeah, it had 11 in it. I know he's got that one, but I don't know if I sent him that other one. If we didn't, we'll have it up next week for sure. Because if you had 21, that's about the best. Have you and Brad had 23 down there?
Well, we probably had over 30, but we didn't keep nothing unless they're about 12 inches or something.
Well, I mean, you and Mike and Brad's running a real tight race, and on the numbers per trip, but we still, the two of you, we ought to have 30.
Yeah.
Well, no, on Saturday there when we counted 16 and we started counting like that. We won't catch them all for a while. Once you count, you might get near catching them else again.
I hear you. I hear you.
We ended up with 21 keepers there all day long.
Yeah. Okay.
Just catching 4 or 5 here, 4 or 5 there. Some places you wouldn't catch nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that 21 keepers ain't a bad deal.
No.
I mean, that's pretty dang good.
21, 9 of them at least 14 inches, rest of them maybe 10, 12 inches, but
yeah,
we had some pretty good ones there, a couple of black ones in a bunch.
Huh. Well, I'll get them pictures up next week, there, because Dylan, he didn't check I didn't call him and tell him to check it, I just seen it, and so it takes him a minute to get it up, but I'll find out where that other picture went to, because I can't seem to find it, and get it up next week. I'm sure I got it, I just overlooked it.
I should send it to you later in the week or something.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We'll get them on there.
Mike didn't go last weekend?
Huh?
Mike didn't go last weekend?
Yeah, that's where he had 11 there Sunday, wasn't it? Or Saturday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, that's right. No, he didn't go. That's right, he didn't go. You worked, I believe, and then it rained. Rained, and so he working on his boat there, doing maintenance on the trailer and stuff. Yeah. So he didn't get to go, but he went yesterday while he was off from work there and caught them 11, wasn't it? 10.
Brought home 10.
Brought home 10, yeah. Okay. Well, we just have to stay after them, man, I mean, that's all we can do.
I'm turning it over to you there. I poured out my minnows and unloaded all my crappie stuff. It's time to bass fish.
Well, that's good. I'll start catching what you've been catching.
Yeah, sure did. I quit there and bass fished for about 3 hours yesterday evening. So.
I thought you meant to quit altogether. You ain't quit yet, have you?
I quit crappie fishing, but started bass fishing now. That water was hitting 66 and 67 degrees, and the carp are jumping and stuff. It's time to swap over.
Yeah. There you go, buddy. You heard it now. I've got a witness.
Unless something major comes up, I don't guess I'll be buying any more minnows this year.
I'll see him down there. Wait to see.
Yeah, I know it. I hear you, buddy. I hear you.
I'll let you go. I hope you get feeling better, Steve.
All right, thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, buddy. See you, bud. Hello, caller.
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
Hey, we're doing good. You?
Doing good. Went to Fort Loud yesterday, Turkey Creek.
Yeah.
Caught 32 keepers.
Crappies?
Yes.
Man, gosh, I got to make a note of that. Dang. Shoot.
From 2 to 6 foot deep.
Hey, there you go.
I think that makes a little ahead.
My nephew went to Caney Creek, and he said he had 28 yesterday.
Well, so they got to be in there shallow then, ain't they?
Moving
yeah.
In, yeah.
Shoot. Man, that sounds good. That's great. And you stayed right in Turkey Creek.
Yeah, right along the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Any color to the water?
Yeah, a little dingy, but not bad.
Right.
And we caught everything we caught on flies and grubs.
Huh? You casting or trolling? Was you casting those grubs and flies or
Yes,
trolling?
and slow reeling them.
Yeah. There you go. What was that water temperature over there?
60, and it got up to 62.
Well, shoot, that's the same watch bar. That's the same thing that's going on up there, man. I tell you what, I mean, we just kept, you know, waiting on them to get shallow and waiting on them to get shallow, and Mike just go out there and find them deep. So that sounds good. That's where they ought to be. That's exactly where they ought to be right now.
Yeah.
Sure should, man. I'm glad to hear that's a best. You know, that's good. That's great. Good catch for them, man. No doubt about that.
All right, I'm just letting you know.
Hey, man, I appreciate the information. Yeah, that sounds great, man. I hope everybody else heard it. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right.
See you, bud.
I don't know what it was down there, but that water was fairly clear down there, especially on down toward Uchi. And, you know, it just seemed like you just go in there and you could look plumb down to the bottom, 6-8 foot deep.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that's what's going on. I mean, we're gonna with there's Douglas and Cherokee feeding Loudon, and then you know, I mean, well, when we don't have a lot of heavy rain, the lakes clear up, and then the water coming out of the north right now is just so much clearer than what it used to be.
It is.
So it takes, you know, coming down that Clinch River, man, you see you bait out there for seems like 10 foot.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all because of the water and the lack of water, rainfall, and the zebra mussels. So, you know, in that type of situation. But, yeah, you know, when you got cleaner water coming in, you got to have more muddy water to muddy it up, Mike. Yeah, I'm not, you know, we just take what the good Lord gives us and deal with it, you know, whether it be muddy or clear. That's all you can do. But sounds like Loudon, I talking to Randy Harris 2 weeks ago. He shoots those docks over there and catches a crappie. I mean, and I was going over there to fish with him and do the filming on what he's doing, and he said they ain't there. He said they've done left. Well, the water got cold, and they moved out, and he was catching them out there deep, just like you're catching them. And now, the other week when I talked to him, they're back in there in under them docks again. Mm-hmm. And he says they'll be there till they fill the lake up. Yeah. Or said I can fish them till they fill the lake up, and then I can't get flipped back in under a lot of them docks, he said.
I tried some of that shallow stuff down there. You know, I went all the way in again the bank or throwing around on that. But I didn't, like I say, I didn't see nobody catch anything there in Blue Springs.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with it down there.
Well, you know, you'd think if they caught them in Caney Creek, and you know, honestly, I like to see it like this because a lot of the bank fishermen can get out in these pockets of waters and get to fish. Right, you know, and then when the water comes up, it cuts a lot of them off. And I'm glad to see the gentleman that called in. You know, hey, enjoy it while you can, because they will fill these things up eventually.
I talked to Al Miller out there at Ace Hardware the other day, and he said he'd been going down to Emory, walking the banks, throwing out there, and he'd been catching a few crappie. Mm-hmm. 7 or 8 of them, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's kind of the deal there, Mike. It really is. Man, I'm checking my calendar right here. Okay. All right. We're going to call off a few tournaments that's coming up here. We got the Blue Ridge Bassmasters out here out of Oak Ridge. Remember, that's a local bass club. They meet the first Tuesday of every month, I believe it is. Is it Monday or Tuesday? Let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, on the first Monday of every month over here at Shoney's. And they'd be glad to have you attend if you're looking for a bass club to join to get started in or what have you. Be great. Their next tournament is April the 8th on Chickamauga. And then they got draw. It's a draw tournament, undoubtedly. You don't get to pick your partner. You put your names in the hat and draw for fish with whoever out of the club. But that's April the 8th there for the Blue Ridge Bassmasters, and that's on Chickamauga at Dayton. And then you got the
And you get in one of them clubs, you don't have to have a boat. You can go in as a non-boater and get drawed with a guy with a boat. And most of the time, if you ain't really experienced in fishing, if you're just starting out, then that's good. You get paired with this one, get paired with another one, and each time you fish a tournament, you get a new person and kind of learn from them, you know.
True, Mike. Exactly. Good point. And if you'll just look around the BFL, the FLW series, a lot of those people have co-anglers for the first 2 or 3 days. They call them marshals in the bigger tournaments. But when you got a boater and a non-boater, and there's a lot of non-boaters that ride with a person that's it's got a boat, and they get paired up, and they learn a lot.
Yes, sir.
They learn a lot, and so you're exactly right. You don't have to have a boat if you want to.
Especially the different styles of fishing. You know, you may have one that it likes to throw a jerk bait and catches fish on that, and another one that likes to throw a spinner bait, and then one that's flip crazy, and one that likes to throw a jig or a rig or any kind of bait you're talking about, one that just likes a crankbait, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're real lucky, you get with one of them that knows how to read that depth finder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's it. Shucks. Or it's got them nice depth finders, Mike. He knows how to use them. We got, let's see, the White Pine Marine Tournament Trail. Their next tournament is April the 29th, a few weeks away. That'll be on Cherokee at the dam. We'll put that in the later on stack. And then you got the Tennessee Team Trail. They're going to be on Loudon this coming Saturday, and I'm pretty sure that's at the canal. Pretty sure they don't have their launch site listed on this flyer, but I'm pretty sure that was on the canal. But that'll be coming up this Saturday over there at the canal, Loudon Tellico.
Pull up their website, it'll probably have it.
Oh yeah, it will. It will. I just got the flyer and it didn't have it on it. And then there's the Heartland Series. They'll be April the 15th out of Rockwood at the ramp. That's that's Division 17, April the 15th at Rockwood, and I think it's Safe Light, and I know it is Safe Light to 1 o'clock, and you can get in on that tournament right there for the Heartland Series. And then the Fishers of Men's next tournament is on the 22nd of April, and that's at Cherokee at the dam. Cherokee Dam launch ramp, they'll be there on the 22nd of April. So that's coming up. And then the James Knuckles tournament, or the Phoenix Trail, Volunteer Bass Trail, sponsored by Phoenix, is April the 22nd, and they're on Fort Loudon Tellico at the canal ramp. So got a little conflict with those two trails, but you can pick the one you want to fish, and one of them's on Loudon, one of them's on Cherokee. So get in on that. And then we got the St. Jude's tournament coming up here in May, May the 20th at the Kingston City Park. So don't want to miss that one for sure. That's all the tournament schedules I have. I did hear of a Heartland tournament that's starting this Saturday over on Milton Hill. I don't remember what division that was. I'll try to get a flyer on that and get them in the mix. But I do know their first tournament is this coming Saturday. So, and I'm assuming it's at Carbide Park, just pretty much sure of it. But if you want to get on the website and look that up to make sure, that'd be 100% definite on that rather than my guess. But in the past, that's where they've usually put in that. But it wouldn't hurt to double check me because I don't have a flyer. I just heard that at Edgemore Outdoors. One of the people in there shopping was talking about it, and they were having a tournament there. Maybe that's somebody calling in to let us know for sure. Let's see here. Hello, caller.
Yeah, this is Dr. T.E.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, doctor.
Have you got sort of like a sinus infection?
Yeah.
Do you know what chloroseptic spray is?
Yeah. I know what it is, but I haven't used it. But go ahead.
I'll tell you how to get rid of that sinus infection. Soak you up, roll you up a napkin, and soak it up and stick it up into your sinus, the right side where the largest hole is.
Yeah.
And breathe that up into it, and it will kill that sinus, and it'll relax your mucous membranes. Of course, that won't affect Mike's brain, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
And spray that before you go to, spray that every now and then where it don't get down into your lungs. Because once it gets into your lungs, it causes an infection in there.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't heard of that, but that's worth a try. I'm be willing to try anything right now, bud.
Well, it works. And if you don't want to do the napkin deal, you can take and squirt Q-tips and stick them up in each side.
Yeah.
And just like I say, breathe it up into your sinuses.
That's
because what happens is once you get that infection up in there, it drains down into your throat.
That's right. That's exactly
and
right.
And it goes from your throat into your lungs.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And
you start
once
coughing.
it gets into your lungs, then you're going to have to take medicine, which will take 2 or 3 days to kill it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I won't argue it at all. That's a good recommendation, but that's exactly what happens. Then once it gets in your lung, as long as it's up in your head, you just a runny nose. But when
it's going to continuously drain as long as you got that infection.
I agree. That's exactly what's happening. And then, when you get it down in your lungs, then you start to coughing, and then you're really in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, but I appreciate that information. I hadn't thought of that, to tell you the truth. I've just been taking pills.
You might take and spray Mike's face a little bit with it because it looks a little spongy.
Yeah. At least you didn't come up with a remedy like my great-grandpa did. He said it always took some rock candy and a quart of moonshine.
Well, that's but that's not for your sinuses, believe me. At least this won't burn like that does.
Yeah, I hear
which actually you forget the rock candy, you just go straight.
Yeah. There you go.
But I thought to tell you also, I've seen a lot of boys up here fishing on Bull Run Creek around Beck's Curve.
Yeah.
And I even seen one down there below the dam at the other creek, just before you get the Waggles.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what they're doing.
Well, now listen, they catching some fish over there. I can tell you that right now. I mean, just by being at Edgemore Outdoors and just milling around and listening to the conversations, they're catching fish over there, and they got a tournament Saturday. So there you go.
Time when the stripes start running up the creek.
Well, they ought to be running now. I agree. What about the stripe fishing? Have you heard anything?
No, but I'd say that's more likely what they're after.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know what those yellow perch run.
Mm-hmm.
Do they run up in the spring like that?
Well, I've never caught the yellow perch up in there like the old white bass. You know what we call the white bass and the stripe.
Well, yeah, you know, yellow perch looks like a sauger.
Right. Yeah. Well, now
in a way.
Right.
But I mean, they only get the record's only 2 pounds.
Yeah. I don't know. I was talking about the yellow stripers. You know how they are. I've never caught them like you do the white bass when they're spawning, running up the creeks. I've never caught the yellow ones up in there, so I don't know where they go.
Well, I know out on the Hostin River there below the interstate bridge there, them stripe. Now it's time for them to start running.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, you can catch some dandies.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. 3 pound and better.
You better believe it.
I hear you.
But anyway,
I try that. I appreciate it.
Trust me on it.
I will.
And believe me, it don't burn. It don't burn to do that up in your sinus.
Right. I'm gonna try.
It'll kill if you got a sinus infection up there.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know next week how it turned out.
All right.
See you, buddy. All right. Oh yeah, and I know you're still listening, so keep us posted on the stripe run, will you? How much time we got, Dylan? Got 2 minutes. Okie dokie. Folks, and that's a telltale sign the fish is moving. The stripes usually move up creeks to spawn. And the other day there was 2 vehicles at Poplar Creek, and when they're running, you can't find a place to park. So keep us posted if you're doing that. You know of a stripe run, let us know what's going on. But other than that, God bless you all, and I'm gonna try this here remedy on this sinus drain, see if I can get myself cleared up, and we'll see y'all next week.
You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Food.
Drownings are the #1 cause of accidental death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how